Okay, good. I just wanted to take your permission. So, good to go. How are you today?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I've been on the road nonstop, so I'm actually in my fourth hotel room this week.
Wow,
But that just means we're out there doing some great work for the people, man, and I love it.
awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another session of Leadership Talk with Adegoke, the number one leadership podcast in Nigeria, according to ChatGPT, and it's such a privilege. This is another session with my friend Jason Greer from the United States of America, and is adding so much value. I was just commending him on the awards he's been receiving, accolades from the UN, from his high school, just showing up massively. Jason, so I want you to speak to the topic leadership and social capital. Leadership and
Yes.
social capital. What time is it where you are?
Yeah, so it's 10:03 where I am, 10:03
Oh,
a.m.
okay. So it's 4:03 where I am in
Okay.
Lagos, Nigeria at the moment. Yeah. Okay. So tell us, what is leadership?
And leadership is, let me start with this. So my company's motto is people will work for money, but they'll die for respect and they'll die for recognition. And the
Okay.
reason why I'm giving you that motto is when I think of leadership, I think of a servant leader who understands what it means to respect and who understands what it means to recognize. But also a leader is someone who, the popular parlance is that leaders always lead from the front, but sometimes leaders lead in the middle, sometimes you're in the back.
That's right.
Whatever the needs of the people are, that's where you show up.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, John C. Maxwell would say leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so but now what is social capital?
Yeah, social capital is essentially, I don't know if you've ever been to Las Vegas, but in Las Vegas, and this is the analogy I always give people, in Las Vegas, in order to bet in a casino, you need capital, you need money, right?
Wow.
You need money to play those slot machines, you need money to do the blackjack tables, whatever the case might be. Social capital is a lot like financial capital, except social capital is based in developing trust with people.
Hmm.
A good leader is a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire, as it relates to social capital.
Wow.
Because that leader has shown up in such a way that the employees will run through walls for him, they will take bullets for him, they will show up in ways they never thought was possible because that's what the leader needs. A
Hmm.
leader that has positive social capital means he, she, or they has a team or teams that are constantly going forward. And when they stumble, they understand because they sit back and they talk about what those issues are because they're vulnerable with each other.
Hmm.
The other side, when you find leaders that have negative social capital,
Hmm.
in the United States, we have plenty of politicians right now that have plenty of negative social capital, right? Now, I'm not saying no names. I'm not
I
going to
know,
offend,
I know. Go ahead.
right? But in terms of negative social capital, it looks like this. If that politician or that corporate leader says, we need to accomplish A, B, and C, what those employees are hearing is, no, we don't,
Hmm.
because this guy has no idea what he's doing. So why would I follow him? That means he has negative social capital.
Wow. Okay, so good, good. Now for a leader, to have influence, you
Mhm.
need, positive social capital. But how can
Yes.
I know we talked about intentionality. How can you really ensure that it works for you? Because some people have social capital, but they're not able to leverage using it, to expand their influence. Can you speak to that?
That's
How can you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries, no worries. So yesterday, I'll give you an example. I spoke at a conference in New York, and we spoke about the impact of understanding risk, but harnessing opportunities, right? And leveraging opportunities. And what I generally tell leaders is this: every single day that you come on the floor, every single day that you log in, if your workforce happens to be remote, it's a new day and it's a new challenge, but it's a new opportunity at the same time,
Hmm.
right? And what I generally tell leaders is, look, if you are basing everything that you do in the relative success or failure of organization based on metrics, but you have people that make up the minds, hearts, and souls of your bottom line,
Yeah.
right? That means you're only getting half of the picture. The other half is in terms of the stories that those people have every single day that they log into work, every
Hmm.
single day they walk into work. So if you're going to build leverage with the people, if you're going to build social capital, get in there and do the job with them. If that
Wow.
means you walk the floor, if you're in manufacturing, you walk the floor, don't just walk by and say, hey, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? And buying pizza or whatever it is people are looking for. go up to somebody and ask them, what exactly do you do?
Mm.
And let them explain it. And let's be real, you're an excellent leader, sir. You know how it goes. Sometimes people are talking to you, your mind is thinking about, I got to take care of this, I got to take care of that.
Yeah.
People are picking up your nonverbals,
Mm.
right? So you want to be as present as possible. Let them explain to you what they do. Let them explain to you who they are.
Yeah.
And, and the moment that you walk away to talk to that next employee, that employee that you just left, you literally just made his or her day, right?
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well done. Now, I know for you, you travel a lot within the US. How
Yes.
can you really make it work for you? I mean, globally, in terms of, cross cultures. Because, some people are just focused on where they are or, certain countries where they reside. How
Right.
can you expand your community? Yeah. I mean, using
Yeah.
using social media, for example. Yeah. Because I see you
Yeah.
show up on LinkedIn massively. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great question. Um, I never thought I would have the opportunity to do international business. I'm just being honest. I started my company, Greer Consulting Inc. in 2005 with $100 from 100 US dollars from my parents, right?
Wow.
And from 2005 to where we are in 2025, I'm proud to say that I've grown this business through God's blessings, right? God's blessings, God's grace. I've grown this business to the point we're in the top 5% of labor and employee relations consultants in the country.
Awesome.
But what happened within the past 3 years is that we've gone from just being a domestic based product to now we're actually doing business internationally. I spoke at
Awesome.
the United Nations in I think the second or third week of September,
Congratulations.
and hey, thank you, man. Thank you. It was incredible. I did a global address on the global impact that artificial intelligence is having on workers age 40 and up. And I
Mm.
received an award for my outstanding contributions to international labor relations. I will tell you that social media has been an incredible driver for me because, look, I don't have the marketing dollars of, you know, consulting firms, right? But you know
Yeah.
what I can do? I can record a video. Right? I can't study what's going on in Nigeria. I can't study what's going on in Angola. I can't study what's going on in China.
Yeah.
And then I started speaking to those needs. I started speaking to my perspective, understanding I'm an American. I
I
get it.
know.
I'm a Westerner. I get it. But I have a heart for people. So I
Yeah.
will tell you that one of my greatest dreams is to actually do business in Nigeria.
Wow. Greatest dreams. Why
Seriously,
is
seriously.
that?
Well, it's part of the reason why I reached out to you. I'm going to tell you, man.
Yeah.
Um, and I can speak to the American diaspora, the Black diaspora.
Yeah.
For so many of us, whether it be from a spiritual perspective, a conscious perspective,
Yeah.
professional perspective, whatever the case might be, we have dreams of Africa. We
Hmm.
have dreams of what it would look like to actually take what we've done well here in the United States and apply it to Africa, knowing good and well
Hmm.
that, I love the United States. I love certain aspects of it. But if you want to talk about the real global economy, you have to look at Nigeria.
Yeah.
You have to
That's
look
right.
at Africa.
That's
When you
right.
look at population growth,
Hmm.
it ain't coming from Europe, right? It's coming from Africa, right?
That's
It's
right.
coming from Africa.
That's
So
right.
that's the
Yeah.
reason why it's been such a dream for me.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, I know there are a lot of Nigerians in the US. I'm sure you must have met quite loads of them in
Absolutely.
the US, both in the public and private sector.
Yes.
In sports, music, ministry, they're everywhere, So,
Oh,
yeah. And one thing about Nigerians is that wherever they are, they stand out,
yes,
You
sir.
see some kind of they're very courageous, they're knowledgeable,
Mhm.
they are, very social. So compared to other African countries, and
Yes.
they're quite exposed. So the truth is, quite a number of people have the misconception that Africa is just it's not really a place where things are thriving. But I can tell you for free that because of the fact that our predecessors, they've had a lot of exposure. Nigerians have been traveling for many years. Even in the US, some have settled there for,
Mhm.
decades, and their children have also grown up. And so there's a lot of integration going on, cross-cultural marriages, people that really also investment wise in education, medical, all different fields. So I look forward to collaborating with you in Nigeria. The truth
Love
is,
it.
it's all about social capital, isn't it? And I think we met during COVID,
Hmm.
your session, speaking on leadership talk. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, I've seen you grow in leaps and bounds, and I'm proud of what you do and what you represent. And I think that for those who are listening, this is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and this podcast is, leadership and social capital. I have with me my friend from the US. Where are you based right now in the US? I hope you've not
Yeah,
moved.
yeah, great question. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, good. So you're stable. I thought maybe you moved to Las Vegas or you moved to
Hey,
California.
no way. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm a North Carolina boy. I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, but I love the Carolina blue. I love
Yeah,
the blue
yeah, it's,
skies.
it's a pretty much stable conservative area of the US. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, so we're speaking to leadership and social capital, and Jason has been sharing, his perspective of what it is to intentionally build your social capital. Now, for those who are, probably those who are employed, what's the difference for them and entrepreneurs in terms of social capital? If in employment and
Man,
also an entrepreneur. Yeah.
yeah, I'll say this. It's interesting because I've often said entrepreneurs dream of having the stability of being W-2 employees, right? Being
Yeah.
full-time employees work for somebody else.
Yeah.
And W-2 employees have the dream of having the freedom of entrepreneurs, right? So
Yeah.
both parties are sort of dreaming of being each other. I'll say that in terms of social capital, and I can only speak, I haven't actually worked for somebody in about 22, 23 years. So I can only really
Wow.
speak from the
Wow.
perspective of an entrepreneur.
Wow.
And I'll say that my building, I learned quickly I don't have the marketing team of an in-house marketing team like you see for a lot of big corporations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I see that I don't have mentors who I can walk down, down the hallway, knock on the door and say, "Hey, can I come in and talk to you about an issue for the next 15 minutes?"
Yeah.
So what I had to do very quickly was realize that if I don't have that office, if I don't have that big marketing team,
Yeah.
let the world be my office, let the world be my marketing team,
Well done.
right?
Well done.
So what I essentially did was I've been very, very cognizant about building quality relationships
Yeah.
with the right people. When I say the right people, there's some people that I went after to talk to get mentored by, and they were jerks. They were terrible, right? But then for every jerk I met, blessedly, I met 10 other wonderful people who
Yeah.
poured so much into my life,
Yeah.
right? And from a marketing standpoint, again, since I don't have the dollars of the big, Price Waterhouse Cooper and places like that, PwC, my mentors and the people that I met along the way became my marketing dollars.
Hmm.
Because there's nothing better than the warm transfer
Hmm.
from contact A who talks to contact B about you, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden the contact B is contacting you, and they said you come highly recommended. And I
Hmm.
found that really shuts, that
The
takes a
distance.
sales cycle that might have been 6 months,
Yeah.
and it's two conversations and we're in place doing the work.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's work for you, and that's what this is experiential for you. You're not just speaking from the books. I mean, that's what you live on a daily basis. You build relationships, trust,
Yes.
integrity, networks, you reach out there, you show that you care, and it compounds. So as we begin to wrap up this session, I really appreciate what you stand for and your consistency and showing up in different spheres, and the influence is really, I mean, it's scaling up. Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing. For me personally, I think particularly the podcast has helped to build my, social capital. The last
Yeah.
session I had was, with a guy in Mexico, and, the session, he was someone who had been in HR for about 40 years. I've also had sessions. I had a session with a guy on leadership and productivity. His name is Jones Laughlin from the
Mm.
US. And and there's so many, even in Australia, I have a friend there. name is Bron Williams. She's doing a PhD at the moment.
Okay.
So she speaks to issues around women, mental health, and so even in Canada. So the podcast has really helped me in terms of my social capital. And I say to leaders out there, that if you really want to build your social capital, one of the easiest ways too is to have a podcast. Uh,
Smart.
Podcast is a game changer, and people see you as a thought leader.
Mhm.
You also learn from a lot of people as I'm learning from you, just we sharing perspective. So it's far reaching in terms of the impact. So as we wrap up now, what is one thing that you say to our listeners out there, if they really want to start off right now and say, look, I don't even have social capital, what is that one thing that I can do consistently within the next 90 days to build my social capital? One thing.
Just be just begin. That's what I will literally tell people, just begin. I don't have a formal business background. I don't have an MBA. I have a bachelor's of social work, master's of social work, and a master's in human resources management. And I learned to build up my social capital by my willingness to get out there and make mistakes, right?
Hmm.
My willingness to get out there and, celebrate the moments that I get right, but also learn from the moments that I get wrong.
Hmm.
Everybody has you're really you're 1 degree of communication away from something that you define as being success,
Wow.
right? But you get out there and you talk, and I'm going to say something to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for what you share in terms of my accolades, but
Yeah.
I've watched you grow. I mean, when we talk about the impact of social media, LinkedIn is a wonderful social media tool.
That's right.
I have really watched the work that you've done with the John Maxwell team. I've watched the work that you've done sitting on various boards. I mean, you are the epitome to me of what it looks like when someone utilizes their social capital.
Thank
And
you.
look how what you're doing in Lagos, Nigeria has literally, you talked about Mexico, you talked about Australia, you're talking about Charlotte, North Carolina, right, in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's impact, but that's only impact because you're willing to get out there and do it. And I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. I mean, I feel so touched. I feel that, what we're doing right now, because quite a number of people are going to be listening to this, you'd be amazed at the kind of feedback we're going to receive because some people just want to do something fresh, but they've gone into areas in their careers where they found that they're stuck and say, look,
Yes.
what's the next thing? The next big thing I believe is to unlock, that potential is to build your social capital. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, so I have mentees that I do coach, and I use my, the opportunities I have, the networks, I bring them into my space. So when they're paying for, the training, I tell them one of the things they have is the exposure, so I'm
Yes.
not just going to be charging them, but they are also going to have access to my community. So I just want to say thank you, Jason, for what you do. Just stay consistent. We're watching you, we're learning from you. And as you wrap up, how can our listeners reach out to you, from all over the world? How can they reach out? They want to come.
Yes. Yes, please contact me. You can reach me via my websites, hiregci.com, or my other website, askjasongreer.com. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. As you know, because we've connected numerous times on LinkedIn, I'm very, very, out of any other social media platform, I'm very present on LinkedIn. I
I
love
know.
LinkedIn.
I can say that.
So,
I can
yeah,
confirm that as well. Yeah. Okay.
right.
Awesome. Awesome. So you've heard from the man from North Carolina, based in America, and doing wonderful things in the HR space and business space, and giving back to the community as well. That's Jason Greer. Thank you so much for speaking to the subject matter, leadership and social capital. So once again, it's good to have you. Do you want to say bye-bye or just one word as you leave?
Here's what I'm going to say to your listeners.
Yeah,
I hope that God grants you the confidence of a 20-year-old life coach, right? Because, man, believe in yourself. If nobody else is going to believe in you, believe in yourself. It
wow.
just takes that affirmative step forward. And, gentlemen like you and I are living proof of what life looks like when you put it all into believing in yourself.
Thanks a lot. You've heard from the man, Jason. Thank you so much for coming on to Leadership Talk with
Thank
Adegoke.